Warm greetings from the High 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. This evening's discussion will be basically a four-part live pertaining to Ahmad Arbery, the three men who went on trial for the said death and murder of Mr. Arbery in Georgia. They have been found guilty. I'm also going to discuss Rittenhouse, the guy who sold him the gun. He pled to a lesser charge. I'm also going to discuss a horrific death that took place in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. It sits about 20 so minutes outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. A woman was stored in an upright freezer for several months, and someone called and gave the information to the authorities, and they went back with an arrest warrant to that said address and discovered the woman thawing out under the bed in a plastic bag. The state of Tennessee is seeking the death penalty for that couple, a Caucasian couple. The guy was older, the girl was younger, and the woman was, I believe, to be in her 40s. She knew him, the male, and they lured her back to this apartment where they tortured her to death and stored her in a freezer. That discussion and the fourth discussion will be pertaining to the busybodies harassing the Seventh-day Adventist Church out of Kingsport, Tennessee. So this is a four-part live and a Q&A with my mod, Kinsley. Thank you so very much, Kinsley, for joining me.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to start with the first story pertaining to Ahmad Arbery.
Breaking news, we continue to follow from Brunswick, Georgia, where all three defendants in the death of Ahmad Arbery have been found guilty of murder. Today's verdict from the jury came on the second day of deliberations.
Outside of the courthouse, people cheered as they heard the audio from inside. Now all three defendants face minimum sentences of life in prison. After 10 hours of deliberations,
Madam Foreperson, I understand you have reached a verdict as to each defendant.
all three defendants charged in the death of Ahmad Arbery learned their fate.
Malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty.
Travis McMichael, who pulled the trigger that killed Arbery, guilty on all counts.
The defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty.
Gregory McMichael, convicted on 8 of 9 counts.
Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty.
Roddy Bryan, guilty on 6 of 9 counts. Inside the courtroom, Arbery's mother appeared overcome with emotion. Outside the courtroom,
my heart is pounding with gladness, excitement.
Crowds erupted, and Arbery's mother gave thanks.
I never saw this day back in 2020. I never thought this day would come. But God is good.
While many in Brunswick celebrate, the defendants now wait to be sentenced. At least one of the attorneys for the defendants said there are plans for an appeal. Ahead here at 6, what local civil rights leaders are saying about today's verdict.
All right, that's Channel 4 News, Detroit. If you need verification for the information, Kinsley, give me your thoughts.
Me personally, I think that they should fry.
Okay.
That man was minding his own business, if I'm correct.
Yes.
You don't have any business taking anybody else's life.
Exactly.
That's not our job. Whether you are, racist or don't like certain religions or whatever the case may be, we the people do not have the right to decide whose life we are going to end.
Okay. Well, I agree. I feel like this. I felt like it was personal. You saw a black man running down the street.
Yep.
In my understanding, he was half dressed. He had on just bottoms of the shirt. He didn't have anything in his hand. And in the end, you don't know where he was coming from if he did have something in his hand. But the point is, they had these issues in the neighborhood. They decided to use him as a mockery. And I felt like it was unjust. And it's sickening that we have these crimes in America pertaining to African-American people and other brown-skinned people, because my thing is, you cannot just go around kidnapping people, because that is how they charge it. Once you subdue a person, block their way of movement, that is considered kidnapping. You had no business following him. You had no business blocking him, bumping him with the truck. You didn't have any right doing that. Then you chased them. You also had a gun. Then you called somebody else to tape it. It was too much. And I think the friend, he should have stayed out of it. He should have told him, look, I don't know what's going on. I don't want any parts of it. You don't know what's going on. So leave that man alone.
Yeah.
Leave that man alone. You don't even know that man. Did you see him do something? So I think the friend should have told him, did you see him do something? And if he said no, well, then stay out of it. Leave it alone.
Yeah. I mean, these people nowadays don't know how to mind their own business. They want to get up into everybody else's issues, drama, bullcrap, whatever it is you want to call it. They had no business bothering that man. They don't even know where he came from. They didn't even know what he was doing.
Exactly. And that's the point. It's that the friend didn't know that he was on tape, peeping around some house. And I don't even think the guy and the son with the guns, they knew. They just saw a black man and they had some issues in the neighborhood and they would just want to be vigilantes. And I get sick of people always feeling like they have the right to accost people, go up and interrogate people because you're a fair-skinned person. You don't have any right to be attacking anybody, walking up to anybody, asking them anything. You don't see them doing anything, so you shouldn't be bothering them. And I'm really sick of this, Captain Save-A-Hole mentality that we have here in this country because people are like that. They see people. If their voices are raised, they want to, what's going on? Yeah, is everything okay? Well, some people talk loud. I don't mean they're arguing, but sometimes it's best to stay out of it. And the things that they should be involved in, they're not. With all the crime we have in America, issues with children being abused, why don't you step in on something you can see that you are visually seeing that is wrong, then go call 911. You understand what I'm saying?
They just want to get up in everybody else's shit when they have no business doing it. They have nothing better to do with their life at all, period.
Exactly.
You would think in today's society that race would not play a factor any longer.
Yeah, but it does.
It'll never end, but
this country is predominantly white.
Yep.
So we already know that. So racism is going to stay here because you still have fair-skinned people who believe that they are dominant creatures, that they own everything, run everything. They are above everybody else. And that's the mentality for a lot of people, not just in America, but in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that.
That's the way it is.
And just like in foreign countries, all those people look the same, such as like the Middle East.
Right.
All those third world countries, all those people look alike. Dark hair, dark mustache, long hair, dark, but yet they're different religions and different nationalities. But if you were to line them up, they all look the same, but they hate each other. And that's what's so crazy.
Stand each other.
Because you've been taught to hate the neighboring country. You've been taught to hate the neighboring country. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it. And, people nowadays, you would think that, these new generations, let's just say when my kids have kids, when are you going to stop teaching your children to hate or dislike somebody based on the color of their skin? My kids see no color. They never have. They that is the farthest thing from their mind is the color of your skin.
Okay.
I just don't understand it. At some point, people have got to change their mentality, and it starts when your children are young.
Yes, it's
got to change, because if it doesn't at some point, this world is already jacked as it is.
Well, I don't see anything changing because we're already several hundreds of years from slavery, and the people are just as worse as they were then. And my thing is, if we were to have it go back to the days of slavery, I think a lot of people would prefer that we would go back to the days of
because I think it's worse now than it probably was then.
Yeah, well, it was contained then because black people couldn't move.
Right.
We as citizens couldn't move about. And then when we went into the 20th century, we still couldn't move about like we wanted. We still caught hell just in trying to live and have a decent life. And now that we have more movement, we still have problems with, nosy Karens and people that are busybodies. So, it is what it is. My thing is, I live my life according to me. I don't walk around worrying about other people, Japanese, Chinese, Jewish, white. I don't worry about you. So long as you stay in your lane, I don't have a problem with you. But I don't wake up hating on somebody because they're white or they're Jewish. I don't care because I'm not about to live my life like that. And I think a lot of people need to think about that. All the time you spend hating on somebody that you don't know anything about, you're going off of something that your mom and daddy told you, or a stereotype, or something bad happened to your friend, and it was a black person or a Mexican. Now you hate all Mexicans, you hate all blacks. That's ridiculous because there are ignorant people in every race. And that's my take.
Everywhere. People have too much hate in their heart. People wake up, just like you said, they wake up hating, they go to bed hating.
But I think they're mad anyway. I think a lot of people are bitter anyway.
Yeah, but
They're
who the hell wants to live their life bitter every single day? That's got to be mentally exhausting.
But what did I tell you? Just from the things we talk about on this channel and the stories, they like being bitter and miserable. If they weren't talking about that, bitching about the black man running down the street, they'd be bitching about the guy across the street running the lawnmower at 6 a.m. You understand what I'm saying? It would always be something. Okay, I'm going to go to my next story. The next story is pertaining to Rittenhouse. This is by the Associated Press. 1 second. Man who bought Rittenhouse gun pleads no contest. This information was uploaded 1 day ago. The court hearing is from November 2nd, I believe, from Court TV. Hold on once. Well, I thought it was going to start. Dominant black who bought rifle for Kyle Rittenhouse pled no contest to reduce charge of contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Was cooperative in the Rittenhouse investigation. He provided a statement early on, waived his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and testified at the trial truthfully. And I want to give him credit for those actions because those are responsible and appropriate actions to accept responsibility and to cooperate. The resolution that we have reached in this case involves the issue of a county ordinance citation for contributing to the delinquency of a child. Mr. Rittenhouse was legally considered a child at the time of the purchase of this firearm, and therefore Mr. Black would be liable for violating that county ordinance. We have agreed to a fine of $2,000 here.
The defendant's plea is no contest or guilty to the forfeiture?
No contest.
No contest. He's found guilty upon his plea.
Okay. The prosecutor dropped the 2 felony counts. Hold on a minute. Let me go back. I have to go back and reread this. Hold on 1 second. You can't see anything with all this stuff up here on the screen. I'm trying to read this to you. Hold on. The prosecutor dropped 2 felony counts of intent to deliver a dangerous weapon to a minor as a part of the deal that allows Mr. Black to avoid prison. This is the Associated Press. Okay, give me your thoughts.
Well, I think that a $2,000 fine, what is that going to teach him?
Was it? I didn't hear that part. It was a
yeah, he said a $2,000 fine.
Okay.
What's that going to teach him?
Mm-hmm.
You got to give him a little something harsher. I mean, whether it was a year in, I don't know how old he was, but a year in juvie or a year in something, a year of house arrest, something. $2,000, that's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, well, he was older than him. He probably was, I don't know, 19 or so. He was older than 18.
Well, if you don't show some sort of enforcement, I mean, it's never.
Well, that's why we have the problems we have in this country.
Yeah, it's never going to change. There's got to be repercussions for the stuff that you do in life, or you're just going to go through life and continue to do the BS that you do because you think that you can get away with it.
Uh-huh. Well, I felt like this. You knew you were wrong for buying the weapon, and naturally, this weapon was bought before all this stuff went down in Kenosha. So that is right, Kenosha, right? I started losing my train of thought. And then the father hid the gun in the basement. So it was a 2-part deal between the son and the father. And then naturally we know what transpired. Once they handed him the gun, he went to Kenosha on his own accord. But this is what happens in this country. People get a slap on the wrist for the most craziest of crimes, and then they go on and they do something else. And this is why they go on and do other things. It's because they realize, well, the court gave me a free pass to do whatever, so now I'll just go do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, there's no repercussion, no
What do you feel
discipline.
about Rittenhouse getting
that?
off? How do you feel about Rittenhouse getting off?
Oh, don't even get me started. That boy, man, whatever you want to call him, he had a plot, he had a plan, and he walked out there and he executed it. And that to me is just complete and utter bullshit. He should fry.
Okay.
He knew what he was doing. Come
Yes,
on. You don't go out there with an assault, rifle.
Well, you knew
or
he was
whatever.
underage. Even if there was no riot, whatever, like I said, all that gun was purchased before. And so, you have to do a check and all that before you even get the gun. Before the gun was purchased, they do a background check. They do a background check.
That wasn't even his job to go out there and protect whatever he thought he was protecting.
Well, he felt like he should. And that's why I said there was a process to even buy the gun. So all that went on way before Kenosha.
That one there. That guy's got that kid, young man, whatever he is, he has some real effed up mentalities. Now
I think he's another Zimmerman, and he will probably end up like Zimmerman. Zimmerman has stayed in drama thereafter shooting Trayvon Martin, and I think this kid is going to end up the same. He will probably be in the news before summer's out. It'll be something.
Well, he once they found him not guilty, he was doing his little travels around YouTube and all kinds of other like podcasts.
Yeah,
laughing and like carrying on like it was nothing.
Well, that's the whole point. They're going to do that because they're free.
I think I heard ASU was trying to completely remove him due to his safety. I read that.
Remove who?
What was Rittenhouse?
I don't understand what you mean. Remove him
from the school.
He's not at that school, I don't think. The school in Arizona?
Yeah. I thought that's where he was.
Oh, I thought I read or heard that they decided he decided not to go there or something.
Oh, well then they were talking about maybe that's what they were saying. Hey, let's not allow him to be here or whatever the case may be. But that wasn't
they figured it'd be a problem him going to school there.
Oh, I think it'd be a massive problem.
It'd bring problems.
Yeah. Okay. They don't want none of that.
Okay, my next subject is pertaining to a woman who was tortured here in Tennessee. As most of you know, I went out to that house last year to film there, where she was stored in an upright freezer. And I'm going to bring you a video from a year ago by WBIR Channel 10 News, and then I'm going to read you the said charges and the death penalty that the state is seeking for these two animals that tortured this woman. Channel 10 News is the source for this next information. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans. One second.
First-degree murder, kidnapping, as well as rape. Court records show the couple lured the victim into their home, promising her a place to stay. Oak Ridge police say they responded to that home on East Fairview Road last night. There they found a 36-year-old woman dead. Documents say Finnegan and Dishman admitted to hitting the woman in the head with a baseball bat, tying her up, holding and raping her, then strangling her to death. The records say after the woman died, the couple dismembered her before stuffing her body into a freezer. Court documents say the alleged crimes happened back in December.
All right, that's WBIR News pertaining to that story. And I'm going to go in my little Rolodex and read you the said charges from the state. Excuse me. Lawandcrime.com is the source. Tennessee prosecutors seek death penalty for a couple charged with woman's especially heinous kidnapping, torture, rape, and murder. Inside of this article, you will see a picture of Rebecca Dishman and Sean Finnegan. They both are Caucasian. Warning, the details in this story include descriptions of rape, torture that may be disturbing to some readers. Tennessee prosecutors announced that the state will seek the death penalty for a man and woman accused of, among other crimes, brutally raping and murdering 36-year-old Jennifer Gail Paxton in 2019. Anderson County District Attorney General Dave Clark on Monday formally filed notice with the court stating that he intends to seek the death penalty in the cases against Sean Finnegan and Rebecca Dishman, Knoxville CBS affiliate WVLT TV reported. Clark reportedly said the purpose of providing such notice is to initiate a series of special procedures required in capital punishment cases. Once a notice of intent to seek sentence of death has been filed in a case, special procedures are initiated in the court case, District Attorney Clark reportedly said. Among those is the appointment of a death penalty qualified attorney for each defendant and the right to a second attorney. As previously reported by Law and Crime, a grand jury in 2020 indicted Finnegan and Dishman on charges of first-degree murder, aggravated rape, aggravated kidnapping, abuse of a corpse, exploitation of a child, and tampering with evidence. Now, I don't know where this exploitation of a child is coming in. That's even more crazy. Okay, the couple allegedly lured Paxton to their home, located in the 2100 block of East Fairview Road in Oak Ridge, by offering her money and a place to stay in December 2019. But once she entered the residence, authorities say Finnegan and Dishman never let her leave, instead subjecting her to a torturous and gruesome death. During a preliminary hearing in March, Oak Ridge Police Department Sergeant Marvell Moore reportedly said that the couple admitted to the atrocious murder following their arrest. Per WVLT, the couple allegedly admitted that after luring Paxton to the home, Finnegan beat her with a baseball bat. Then the couple tortured, raped, starved her for a period of 3 or 4 days. She was allegedly locked in a single room and forced to use a bucket instead of a bathroom. Finnegan and Dishman then allegedly strangled Paxton to death and mutilated her body, breaking her bones so they could fit her remains into a stand-up freezer. Authorities allege that Finnegan eventually took Paxton's mutilated body out of the freezer and hid it under his bed. Paxton's body was not discovered until police executed a search warrant on the couple's home on August 6, 2020. Clark reportedly told the court that the state is seeking the death penalty because of the especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel manner in which Finnegan and Dishman allegedly killed Paxton, Knoxville affiliate, ABC affiliate WATE TV reported. He also contended that the slaying was perpetrated for the purpose of avoiding or interfering with or preventing arrest or prosecution for aggravated kidnapping, and said that the couple knowingly mutilated the body of the victim after death. The trial for Finnegan and Dishman is currently scheduled to begin March 4th. Since resuming capital punishment in 2018, the state of Tennessee has executed 7 people, all of them men, according to the Department of Corrections. WVLT noted that Dishman may be the first woman executed by the state in more than 200 years. The only other woman on death row in the state is Krista Pike, who was sentenced to death at the age of 20 for the torture murder crime she committed when she was 18. The image that you see in this video is courtesy Anderson County Sheriff's Office. Law and Crime is the source. Let me say this. This was atrocious, what they did to this woman. I don't know how long she was in there at the house, but it says 3 to 4 days of torture, then death. And then they broke her bones and stuffed her in the freezer. August 6th of 2020, someone made a phone call to the police department about her. I don't know if it was this young lady who helped or not, but if indeed she did it, I'm wondering why she waited so long. I talked to people that lived at the building at the time of the crime beforehand. I also spoke to a neighbor, and at the time, the neighbor's son said he did hear a scream around the Christmas time, but he didn't think no more of it. He didn't go out and look. I also talked to the girl who lived at the inn apartment closest to the street. She's no longer living there, from my understanding. She told me there was always some banging on the wall, but she didn't do anything. She didn't call police. She didn't call the landlord. Why? Was she the type of person she didn't like getting involved? She didn't want to cause problems with her neighbors, or she just didn't care. The sick part is, if you heard somebody banging on the wall, 9 times out of 10, it was them beating her, or the woman probably beaten to get somebody's attention. We'll never know. But the point is, somebody made a call. The police showed up at the house. I believe that was a Wednesday. And they couldn't go in, of course, because they didn't have a warrant. Well, they came back on that Thursday with the warrant. And when they went into the said house, that's when they found her decayed body in a bag, thawing out under his bed, the suspect's bed. Kinsley, go ahead.
Well, I want to know. Well, actually, I don't want to know, but I'm assuming this is probably not his first time doing this.
Yes. Okay. And let me go there. He did lure a woman from Knoxville, Tennessee to Blount County years beforehand, held her hostage in his house and would not let her out. She pled for her life because she said she had a boy child she had to get home to take care of. And somehow she was able to get out of that house to safety. But it is not on record in Blount County that he kidnapped her. Knoxville has a record of this incident. But what I'm trying to understand is why isn't there a record of it in Blount County where the house was where the woman was kidnapped?
I don't know. That's
And
strange.
why did he go to jail for kidnapping that woman?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You would have think he would have did some prison time. So, I mean, something, not nothing.
Right.
You know, I wonder if he was abusing the lady that he had, you know, that lived, the gal that was
the girl. And there's also
Yeah.
a mother that stayed there. Let me give you the whole backdrop, what was told to me by a neighbor. He had a mother living there. There was a dog there. So what I'm trying to understand, because the neighbor said, well, he's been out. He seemed friendly. We spoke, blah, blah, blah. But like I told her, well, you don't know him. And now you know that he had a woman in there. Him and a young girl tortured a woman. So somebody speaking to you over the fence at the curb, that doesn't mean anything because people speak to people every day. That don't mean I know them because you spoke to me. You seem nice. What I have the problem is, besides the incident with the other woman in Blount County being kidnapped and only Knox County having a record of it, is the fact that how did you beat her, torture her in that same house where the mother stayed? These are allegedly 2-bedroom townhouses. They're two side by side in the middle, and on the end are 1-bedrooms, one on one end with a 1-bedroom and another 1-bedroom on the end. So it's a fourplex. 4 apartments lined up in a row, 2 townhouses in the middle. So I'm assuming those townhouses have 2 bedrooms from my recollection. I'm trying to understand, how did you torture her in the apartment and your mother was living there as well?
He probably was torturing the mother. I mean, how could she not do anything is the question. How did you allow it to go on? Did he never let you out of the house either?
But
Everybody
that's the situation.
held hostage?
We don't know anything about the mother. I got that information from the neighbor about the mother living there. And so we don't know what state the elderly mother is, because this guy's 50-something years old. So the mother is at least probably 70. Let's just say that. So we don't know. Was she bedridden? Was she mobile? Could she hear? Could she see? Did she have dementia? So we don't know anything.
He's sick. You know, you would think that he was probably showing signs of being that type of person. Normally those type of people start out with like harming animals, setting fires, things like that. And then they progress into torture, murder, sexual assault, you know, and then you ask yourself, was he abused as a child to make him so far-fetched out there?
He obviously likes holding women hostage. That's obvious.
Yeah, he gets off on that.
He's one of those type of men that once he gets you in the snare, he doesn't want to let you out for whatever sick, perverse reason. So you don't know if it's because he's lonely, like how Jeffrey Dahmer was.
Right.
Lonely. I don't want you to leave. Then when I see that you're ready to go, now I want to do some hanky-panky, vile things to you and your body parts. But I'm going to recap the people's names so you all can remember this story, because the trial is coming up in March. I will be covering the case. I will go back out to the location to film again, to show you the house again. I was in that general area yesterday, and I didn't even get this notification. If I did, I didn't pay attention to the notification, but I have been out there and filmed the location of this said townhouse or whatever. And there are some people currently living in the building when I last went out there back in the summer. Her name is Jennifer Gail Paxton. She's 36 years of age. Well, she was. She's no longer living. This crime took place in 2019. The defendants are Sean Finnegan and a Rebecca Dishman. Sean Finnegan is in his early 50s, and Rebecca is about 30-something years old or so. So he was like 30 years older than this young girl. Where he met her, I don't know. Where he found her, where they hooked up. But this is a sick situation of a man taking advantage of a 30-year-old who obviously has some mental issues herself, because there was a evaluation issue for her as well for this crime. And I can't remember what came about with that. I'd have to go back into my my Rolodex to get this information. But there was a mental evaluation issue for her. Let me see. The Newsbreak has an article of this as well. And there's a picture of the deceased woman. She wasn't a bad-looking young lady. I believe she was homeless at the time. She did have several children, because I talked to a acquaintance of mine who used to live near her mother years ago. They were neighbors at one time in a certain apartment complex. And he said he ended up calling the woman to give his condolences to her. And I believe he's raising her remaining children. So obviously she was raising her children even before her death. She had about 6 or 7 kids that she wasn't raising. It's a very sick story about this woman. So we have to ask ourselves, how did she get in this situation? Why was she homeless? Was she a drug user? Why wasn't she raising her children? How did she come to be in the company of this man? Where did they meet her? Did they have a car? Why didn't they dispose her body out somewhere in the wilderness? I've always thought that was odd. So that made me think, did they even have a car? Because why would you store her body in an upright freezer for months?
Yeah, you would think, especially if they had like, well, they didn't dismember her, but you would think at some point
They did. They did dismember her. You didn't hear that? Yes, they did.
Well, you would think that it would start to smell. You know what I mean?
All of that. That's why I kept saying, where is the mother? Where was the freezer? Was the freezer in the kitchen? You know what I'm saying? Because you had to have a regular refrigerator. So if it was an upright, then that means you had an extra big freezer in your kitchen. So you mean to tell me the mother never went in that kitchen, never went in that freezer? Because that's where she was stored originally. But when they came to talk to them, which I think was on a Wednesday evening, day, whatever, that's when they realized, okay, we got to chop her up and get her out of this freezer. Because 9 times out of 10, they're coming back, which they did. The police came back. So I'm wondering who was there with them. Was this girl there? Because I got a feeling she wasn't there, and she's the one that told that the body was in the freezer.
Yeah, she got out of the house somehow or whatever, and she was probably scared for her life and finally decided to call.
But why? But that was December 19th. You're talking about Christmas time all the way up to summer, August. That's almost a year. That's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. 8 months, Kinsley. That's a mighty long time.
That's a very long time. I mean, they're both mentally ill. They both got mental issues.
Yeah, because you talk somebody into going along with torture, kidnapping somebody, torturing them. They cut off her breast. They tortured her. They did that woman foul.
That was my question. How did she not know that he was that type?
I think she knew.
She had to have known. He was probably very sadistic with her. You know what I mean? Like during like sexual intercourse, he may have been the type that choked her, or made her black out. Mm-hmm. That's foul. That's just that has me left speechless.
When you open up the articles and videos, you'll see the girl. She's a heavyset white girl. She had the colored hair, blue-green color in her hair. Not the best looking female. And then he also had longer gray and black salt and pepper hair. He 9 times out of 10, he's been this way a very long time. A sadist. 9 times out of 10, yes, he probably tortured this girl, cursed her out, called her nasty names, beat her up. He's probably done this behavior with other women. And we also have to hope and pray he hasn't killed anybody else.
Right. He probably has.
Besides this lady here. I really felt bad for her being tortured like that. And then I find out that she had children that she wasn't raising. I believe her mother had her children, if I'm not mistaken.
That makes you really wonder, like you said, was she on drugs? How did she become, was
Homeless.
she
Yeah, in the
homeless?
street. Yeah, she was in the street.
Where did they meet? Did they meet at a park, a parking lot, a bar? Where?
Probably met her in Knoxville.
And, and did they seek her out? Like, had they been watching her? Or had he been watching her?
Well, the thing is, they met her somewhere. She didn't have a place to stay. That's how she ended up at his address. They took her there. So they met her somewhere and found out she didn't have a place to stay.
Yeah, that was his ammo.
Yeah.
He used that to his benefit. Ugh.
Yes. Okay.
That's horrible.
It's very horrible. So we're going to pray.
How do you even do that in the house? So you mean to tell me he dismembered her in their little home?
Townhouse. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have to think about all that, how much it takes to cut up a body, because you are made up of bones. So you had to now cut through the bone, chop her up, put her in a plastic bag or bags. Then they put her up under the bed. And that made no sense, because if you thought the police was coming back, which they did the next day, you have her now thawing out under the bed.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That's where they found her. Because I remember when the police read it, the statement, it was so disturbing to hear the law enforcement say, we went up under that bed and pulled this woman out in pieces in a bag. See, I thought she was whole. I don't know why my mind was making me think she was whole. She was not. And remember, they already crushed her bones when they stuffed her in the freezer originally months back and held her there, a dead corpse. So I'm trying to figure out, why did you not dispose of the body out in the elements?
Maybe they didn't have a car, like you said.
Yeah.
They had no means of transportation. And clearly, I don't think they want to be seen dragging a garbage bag or a suitcase or whatever they may have put her in down the road.
So what now?
I said, what would he have taken her body out in? A trash bag, a suitcase? I don't think that he would want to be seen.
You could have put her in a garbage can, rolled the garbage can up on a truck, and waited till nighttime and went and dumped the can, or a plastic tub. You already broke her bones up. You could have put her in a plastic tub. You could have bought a big size plastic tub from Lowe's or Home Depot, put her in the tub, load her up in a truck, and dump her. People dump people in these type of fashions. It's not to be disrespectful, but this is what people do. They dump you in plastic bags, tubs, barrels, garbage cans. People do it all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. He clearly didn't have any brains. Maybe he wanted to get caught at some point.
Oh, Lord. Well, he did. He and the girlfriend. They're both now about to the state is seeking the death penalty. Do you think they should seek the death penalty in this case?
Yeah, they actually need the electric chair.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, come on. You can't go cut somebody up and just think that you're going to go sit behind bars and us taxpayers are going to pay for this shit.
Well,
it happens every day.
Many people been paid for.
I mean, that's just, come on. That's just like, that's a given. You're going to go just sit there. You're just going to go sit there and read a book every day, or go work in the kitchen or wherever it else is, that you can get a job locked up behind bars. But why should you be able to have your life after you did something so horrific to somebody?
But
they
it happens every day.
That's up. You know what I mean? Like, why should you be able to sit there every day? He may be so sick that it may not bother him. Mm-hmm. So him being behind bars to him is nothing.
Well, and that's the whole point. 9 times out of 10, this guy's been homeless most of his life. The young girl, she's probably been homeless most of her life, because you have to ask all the basic questions when you are talking about suspects. How did this guy meet this young girl he's old enough to be her father? Where did he meet her? Why is she living with this older man? Did she work, have a job? Did he work? How are they paying rent? Were they getting any type of government assistance, SSI? You have to ask all those questions because this girl's 30, prime of her life. What is she doing with this 50-something-year-old man? And then going out picking up strangers and bringing them back and torturing them. And I do believe she's the one that called law enforcement to say that the body was there, because I always question that. Who called the police to tell them that the body was in the house?
She had to have.
Yeah,
Because
that's what I'm saying.
how would anybody
Unless
else
you
know?
told an outsider, and that was even more scary, because then I thought about that at first. Well, who told it? Please don't tell me there's somebody else that had knowledge that lady was in that damn freezer.
Yeah, no, she seen her opportunity to make the phone call and she did it.
Okay.
She got out of that apartment, whether it was to run errands or she escaped or what have you. She's the one that called. She knew where it was at.
He trusted her at some point to move about.
Yep.
And probably she left on her own accord.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you what's even more baffling. Besides everybody getting in cahoots doing this, a mother living in the house, the neighbors are so close. Each apartment is close to their apartment. You have an apartment next to his. Then there's 2 apartments separated on the end. So you have a total of 4 apartments in a 4-plex building. Then you have a neighbor whose house faces their front doors, because all the front doors face the neighbor's house and her front door. So I'm trying to understand how nobody noticed anything, this neighbor, and the 4-plex faces her house.
Well, nobody heard anything at that. How did you not hear that?
That's what I'm saying. I know they heard something because the girl at the end apartment said she would hear banging on the walls or banging in the apartment.
And why the hell didn't she call the police?
Esley, what are you talking about? Could it have been the mother? I don't know what you're saying. Oh, could it have been the mother that called? I don't know. We don't know. We just know somebody called. Good point. Maybe the mother did call. Maybe the mother ended up going in the freezer, saw the woman in there.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
And where's the mother? Is she alive? That's a very good point. Because what if it was the mother that called, and then after the police left the apartment, he said, oh, well, somebody had to tow. So it can't be nobody but you, mother or girlfriend.
Yeah.
So now you got to ask
one or the other, mom or the girlfriend.
Well, we know the girlfriend's alive, so he didn't kill her because she's being tried alongside him. So yes, it's either the mother or somebody else who was in the house or the girlfriend. Jesus Christ, it's crazy.
Well,
okay.
We'll see if the mother, has to testify or anything during this trial.
Yes, we will. All right, I'm getting ready to go to my 4th story. This is a 4-part live pertaining to Rittenhouse, the guy who sold Rittenhouse the gun, took a lesser charge. The 3 men involved in the murder of Ahmad Arbery, they were found guilty. And the 3rd story is pertaining to this young lady who was tortured and killed in an apartment in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, left in an upright freezer. Someone made a call that she was in there. She was in that freezer for about 8 months or so. And the police discovered her body after going to the home and then coming back the next day with a search warrant. She was chopped up, dismembered in a bag, thawing out under the defendant's bed. Who called the police? We don't know. But the trial will start in March pertaining to these 2. And the state is seeking the death penalty in these 2, Sean Finnegan and Rebecca Dishman, in the kidnapping, rape, and murder of a 36-year-old female. And that's the sad information. My 4th story is Hollerville. This is by Evil Exists. Church member closes door, asked about Summer Wells. Let me say, this bullshit going on in Robertsville is out of control. I don't know what's wrong with you people, why you all cannot leave people alone. Why are you bothering these people, harassing people? But it just goes to show me that you're really lame as fuck and you don't care about anybody but yourself. I really didn't want to get vocal pertaining to these people because I know how when you start talking about people, it brings problems. But I'm going to say something because this is outrageous. I'm going to play this content. You're entitled to chop it up however you see fit. The channel is Evil Exists. One moment. This was uploaded 3 hours ago.
Candidates are no longer allowed to attend the church. I'm not sure how true that is, but one thing is for sure, Don has been absent from SDA classes at the church in recent weeks. Content creators showed up at the SDA church, and a man appeared holding his phone. It looked like he was videoing them. As soon as they asked the man about Summer, he retreated back inside the church without saying a word, and closed the door. Are the church members distancing themselves from the Wells? Someone asked me whether David Dotson has any contact with the Wells. According to his daughter, Hannah Dotson, David doesn't really have contact with them, mainly because he is now married and wants to carry on with his life. However, David thinks that Candace has something to do with Summer's disappearance, and he found it strange when she called him on the evening Summer went missing. No further details were given as to why he thinks so. The church has stopped the way they do the live streams too. They no longer film the entire congregation or the children like they used to do. Majority of the videos, especially those that include Summer and Robin Lane, have been removed from their website too. So, is the church trying to distance themselves from the Wells completely?
All right, that's Evil Exists. That's my fourth story and final story for this live. Let me say this. When are you people going to leave well enough alone with this case, bothering these people? You've already went to the church the last time you were here. So what is the purpose? Kids, you got let me
look.
No, wait. Let me mute you 1 second. Let me mute you first. Hold on. Why are you all bothering these people? Weren't you just there a month or two or so ago? Went to the church. So why are you now back bothering these people at this church? I don't understand the purpose of going back to the church to bother these people. For what? You already saw people talk to you the last time. So why would you be still bothering these people? Now, as far as the videos, the church has the right, pastor, whomever, they don't want the services showing all the people in the church. Of course they don't, because you've devoured and scoured all through these videos, passing all this shit along on social media, YouTube, chopping up whatever you can see and find in the church videos pertaining to Summer, Robin, the behavior of the child, blah, blah, blah. It is atrocious. And I felt bad for the church when the videos first got released because it was nonstop. Everybody trying to figure out this, and this. It's just, kids, you're going to have to mute yourself, honey. It's just ridiculous. All of this buffoonery pertaining to these people. Everybody wanting to be a detective, I spy. You're out of control. You're out of control. Because the church is a sacred place. Whether you agree with the religion or not, it's none of your business. The Seventh-day Adventists, it's none of your business. Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, Catholics, all the same to me. It's none of your business. Thank you, Janet. You have no right bothering those people, going to the church, hanging out, filming them. And you were so crass when you last went live out there. You showed somebody's tag number standing outside of their car. You don't have any fucking business on the property. Period. Asking them about nothing. You're not the news. You're not the news. That's sacred. A church is sacred. The whole entire ground is sacred. And you're back over there asking these people what? Asking them what? Yeah, if I was him, I'd film them too to let them know, hey, we don't want you here. Don't come back. And they'll probably want to go to the police too and tell them you're stalking and bothering the church. You're asking for trouble, and that leads me to believe your spirit is not right, and you're not in this for the right reason, and it has nothing to do with Summer. You don't give a damn about that kid because you're bothering people who don't have a dog in the race pertaining to her disappearance. And naturally, these people are not going to give you their opinion pertaining to Don and Candy and the case because they aren't church members, and they don't want those problems coming back to them. And Don and Candy perhaps calling them, bothering them in the inbox. You don't even think about the stuff that you're doing. You don't think that if one of them decided to talk publicly, that these people will go and start bothering them in their inbox and saying stuff. Then here come the other church members. They're going to start saying, well, why did you say something? Now here comes the pastor. Hey, why did you say something? You don't need to be talking publicly to these YouTubers or anybody. Stay out of it. You all don't even care. This is small town USA. Word gets out very quickly when there's some bullshit on the horizon. And you all don't even care. You don't care about Summer. You don't care about the brothers. You don't care about the case. You don't care about how this is going to play out later in a court of law. You don't care nothing about the church members. You don't care about anybody. You don't care about the neighbors. These people know how to find you. You make yourself visible on YouTube. How hard would it be to find you? You have emails. They know how to contact you if they want to give you a statement or they want to come up on your panel. Leave that church alone. It pisses me off because I try my best not to have to say anything bad about anybody up here in this box, but you motherfuckers are out of line. You're out of line. You want to run all over Knoxville, Rogersville, Kingsport, talking to these other goofy ass people that want 5 minutes of fame. That's your business. But the church people, you ought to have enough respect for yourself to leave those damn people alone. Because they're not bothering you. As far as the church and the Wells, I don't know about Don going back to church. When the last time he went back to church? Had he stopped going to church? I don't know. When was the last time he went to church? Is he even welcome at the church? I don't know. Him and Candy. Has the pastor talked to him about his vile behavior? Because if I was a pastor, I would be talking to Don Wells about his behavior. I would tell him, you're welcome to come to church, but you're going to have to stop going live and exhibiting this type of behavior because it is a reflection of us. It is a reflection of us. Because you're a member or you're coming to the church, which is soever. And it is a reflection. And we don't need the heat. We don't need the problems. We don't need people coming here trying to investigate stuff about you and this kid and your wife. We don't need people even probably coming to church, pretending to come to church just so they can sit around and try to scoop the people out. I won't be surprised that they've had people sitting in church trying to scoop out the church just so they can get a feel of these people, the pastor, Robin. You have some really sick people out here who don't care anything about nothing but making a name for themselves. And that's what these goofy ass people are doing. You're that thirsty that you're willing to sell your soul to the devil for a story that, one, ain't none of your damn business. You ain't lost nothing in Tennessee. Your address isn't here. You don't pay taxes here. Nothing. And you're steady bothering those people who don't have anything to do with that little girl missing. Probably don't even talk to Don and Candy. And you're all up on the church grounds bothering these people, showing the fucking car tags the last time you went live. Yeah, I'm saying something because somebody needs to check your ass because you're disrespectful. And as I said with the pastor, he needs to have a talk with Don if he hasn't already, to tell him, I'm trying my best not to judge you because I'm a pastor. I have to lead the flock, but your behavior is asinine. It is unacceptable. And we can't have people in our congregation carrying on the way you've been carrying on, you and your wife. Now, we'll support you all we can because allegedly your child is missing. But what we're not going to tolerate is any foolishness that will be a reflection of us, vice versa. And we don't need any heat and craziness coming to the church. It's bad enough you come back. You went to the man's job. You went over to the house. Now you're going back to the church. Where did you draw the line? That's what I'd like to know. Oh, I forgot there isn't a line. There are no boundaries with this group. Goofy ass bitches. I'm done. Kinsley.
We all want to know what happened to the little girl, right? We all want to know who, what, when, where, and why. We're probably never going to know the whole truth from these people.
Probably never.
We're probably never going to know. I myself would never be down anywhere protesting and causing havoc on a city, a town, whatever you want to call it. Law enforcement, to me, you are invading their investigation. Every time they hit that soil in Tennessee, it probably takes away, because they're saying, oh, law enforcement menace here, law enforcement menace there, or here, or there. They don't have time for all that. They got real shit to do. Like, find this little girl. Nobody has any right to go up into a church. A church is supposed to be your safe haven, you know, where you go and you worship and you do whatever it is that you do. That is your safe haven. You should never have to worry about somebody having a camera pen or a phone out or whatever it is you have out. Nobody has any business doing any of that, especially posting somebody else's child. I'd be pissed if somebody posted my child on social media. There's no stopping them, you know, and I often ask myself, you would think at some point YouTube would say enough is enough. You know, you can only harass people so much. You can only get on your live streams talking shit so much. You can only belittle people so much. Enough is enough. It has to stop at some point. They have no business going to anybody's home.
Yeah.
You have no business, you know, outside of CPS. The fact that the DA supposedly sat down with these people today and discussed policy and procedures.
Slow down for a minute. Slow down, Ken. Somebody, Esley says they did attend the church service on Saturday, but declined the invitation for vegan potluck afterwards. What the fuck?
I wouldn't want them at my potluck.
What did I just say? What did I just say? I wouldn't be surprised if people have gone into church going to sit and gawk and stalk the people. So now you're telling me you went up in the church, but then you went to a service. But then you didn't want to eat the food that they had.
Yeah, they sat for the whole service.
Okay, so what did you go sit up in the church service for then? If you weren't going to partake in the meal,
simply
to be nosy.
Content for the clicks and the views. It's all about the almighty dollar. It really, truly is. And what's really jacked up is you have all these viewers of theirs or subscribers that donate and donate and donate. Yeah, they are doing all.
If you donate to that bullshit, you want to get robbed. You want to get robbed. Because I'm not going to give my money for anybody poking around, messing with these people who don't have a dog in the race. And it goes to show you that I know what I'm talking about because I haven't been watching her content. I don't want to give a motherfucker a view off some bullshit because I don't condone involving the church. That's just to be off limits. You ought to have enough pride in yourself to not involve the church. I understand you want to talk to people, but that's the whole point. You haven't had any problems with these people reaching out to you. So don't you think if somebody from the church wanted to talk to you about Summer Wells and this Don and Candy, they would find you.
Yeah, they're easy accessible, you know.
Damn.
And what business do you have?
Is whoop all they fucking asses, beat the fuck out of them. You
know, that man that pulled up on them and said something about you're on my mom's land or what have you. You have no business on anybody's land. None. You have no business on anybody's land, on their property, in their driveway, recording them, recording whatever it is you're recording. That is an invasion of privacy. You are trespassing. What if you put my address out on the internet on accident? Because you pay no mind to anything, just like they posted, you know, the plates, that, you know, the license plate. You have no business doing that, period. I don't want my stuff out there. You know, I don't hear her disclosing her physical address to her home or her tag number. And what makes you think that you should roll up to somebody's house and drop off dog food when they never even asked for it?
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we should do. Let's go follow them around and chase them around and follow them around every place they go with a fucking camera and iPhones and shit. Follow you to your Airbnb, every fucking where you go. Let me follow your ass around. Let you see what it feel like. Let me show up at your door and follow you around, going to Costco, Walgreens, sit outside your house, Let's start banging on your damn neighbor's doors asking, hey, what do you think about this motherfucker right here? You like your neighbor? You like him or her? Do you like him? What do you think about him? And see how that fares with you.
It's something else. I mean, they are, to me, I would be embarrassed. You know, I don't believe in being drunk and being on a live stream. I love to have a good time. I love to party and, you know, have some drinks and have a good ass time, but I'm not going to jump on a live stream where I look like I'm cracked out and my face is slanted to where everybody's going to make a meme about me the next day. At some point, you got to have some self-couth, some self-respect. And they have none. They have, what jobs do they really do on a daily basis? Do you have a real job other than YouTube? Because the job that you're doing on YouTube, you are making a mockery out of themselves.
You don't have a real job because, one, you're running around cross country during daylight savings time, and you're running around on the ground when it's daylight. So you don't have a job, because what job is going to say, oh, yeah, sure, I'll let you take off so you can go chase some fucking hillbilly around?
You know, it's one thing if you know, you're traveling the country and, you know, you do YouTube for a living and you're creating some good content. Good content.
Yeah, because you got some people, you do have some people that do go to crime scenes, you know, to show you where something happened, and they're decent in their content, and they're not out here with blue horns and banging on the people's doors and cussing and fussing at the people. They're just showing you where the location is. They're doing it with some type of dignity and some respect. Oh, no, not this group right here. Damn Down syndrome baby.
I don't get it. You know, my husband, you know, being law enforcement, all he does is he sits back and shakes his head, and, you know, he says they have no idea the shit they're causing internally.
Don't mention YouTuber's name in the chat. Please don't mention nobody's name in the chat. We already know who we're talking about. Don't mention their names. Don't put their names in my chat.
You know, they're taking away from officers or detectives or, you know, whomever to go out and make sure that these people are doing, you know, what they're supposed to be doing on public turf. You know, it's bullshit. Leave them alone. Let law enforcement do their job. We all want to know what happened. We all know Dawn and Candace are guilty. We know it. We all get that CPS failed them. However it is they failed them. Was there open investigations already? Was there not? Why did it take so long to remove these kids? Did Dawn and Candace surrender their kids?
I don't know. Somebody asked in the chat who was watching their kids. They have a nerve telling others what horrible mothers the people are around. They are awful. Well, I didn't know. Certain person has a child underage. Maybe the daddy's watching. Maybe he ain't got no job.
Yeah, I thought to myself the other night, I don't think my husband would like me traveling the country, you know, stampeding around, causing havoc, and him and my kids are at home, you know, worried about me. You know, maybe she doesn't, maybe she's not hands-on with her child. You know, we don't know. She might just be that mom that, you know, thinks.
But from my understanding, that white boy, he was a racist. I saw one of the hats he had on talking about make America, what is it, white again? America is white. Where you been?
Isn't he Mr. Sue Happy?
When was America not white? America is predominantly Caucasian. So you sitting here with a fucking hat on talking about make America white again. It's been white. It was white when you came over here and stole the land from the Native Americans. Did you miss that part? Yeah, I said it.
People like him are the problem. They are why America is the way that it is.
Make America great again. I know how to make America great again. Push your ass off a cliff. That'll make America real great. How about that?
You know, and I was thinking, you know, they got that young girl with them.
Yeah, don't say no names. Just know who you're talking about.
No, I won't. But her editing and her videography skills are amazing. that girl's got such amazing potential. And me personally, I feel that she doesn't have good role models right now.
Well, maybe she likes them. See, this is what I keep trying to tell
She might,
people.
yeah, she might.
You kin yourself with people in the beginning, either because you saw something in them that you like, or they're similar to you. You gravitated to at some point. Now, maybe she does have reservations and she don't know how to cut herself out. I don't know because I don't know her. But all I'm saying is, at some point, you see what these people are about, and you're still riding the ride with them. So that says a lot about your own character. Because at this point, you can't sit up and say you don't know what they're doing. You're right there with them.
I think maybe she was thinking, hey, I'm going to grow my channel off of the one,
Well, that's what they all been doing. But that's what everybody's been doing, using other people's content.
Of course.
Sharing other people's content on your channel. That is to help your channel grow. Let's just keep it real. That's exactly what you're doing.
Most of these people on YouTube, most of these creators, 1 minute they like each other and the next minute they're talking shit and dragging you through the mud. I've watched it happen with several content creators, and just gotta
somebody
shake
in the chat said she's young, but her mother's there with her. What does it have to do with anything?
Well, yeah, her mom's there with her because she's underage, supposedly.
How old is she?
If she's underage, they said, I'm assuming she's probably 17.
So why would you let yourself? Okay, so let's go there then. Since you opened Pandora's box, somebody in the chat, why would you allow your child to be running around doing this type of work at 17? And then you see how these people are carrying themselves, and you want to align your child along with this? I thought the girl was grown. I didn't know she was a child. Okay, somebody says she's 23. Well, if she's 23, she don't need her mama around.
Yeah, they said that
she's not making no sense.
They said she is not of age, and don't worry, people. She has her mom. They said her mom is here for parental consent.
Whatever. I'm not even about to discuss this because see, this is some more bullshit.
I think
it all sounds like bullshit. Whatever the truth is, it still sounds like bullshit.
They just need to go home, let law enforcement do what they got to do, because at some point real soon, it's going to come to its head. And sometimes we just have to be patient. As much as we don't want to be patient, we have to be patient.
Well, I don't watch all that. I don't watch everybody's channel. I may go over to the channel out of curiosity, or it's in the queue, so I just open up to see what the person is talking about. But if I see anything in there that is not jiving well with the queen, I just move myself out the box. I don't take it personal because I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't get into all that stuff that everybody gets wrapped up into. Oh, he said this, she said this. I don't care. So I keep trying to tell the people in the chat. I don't go looking for stuff on other people's channel because I ain't lost nothing on nobody else's channel.
No, and you always mind your business. You don't ever really speak on anybody.
Care what other people are talking about.
You dig and you do your own research. Most of them, they bite off of each other's content to create content. Your content is researched. You always have a source to give, whether it's a website here or an article
or the news.
There.
Most of my information comes from the news, not Bubba, not Dudley, not Allie, not H, not none of that. Because I'm not running around banging on people's doors, because I know there's a catch to all that banging on doors. And I think we've seen what happens when everybody's trying to get in cahoots, jumping on panels, YouTubers with this YouTuber, and like somebody said, then next thing you know, you're falling out, you're talking bad about a person, you're putting their personal life on blast. This is the reason why you don't get yourself wrapped up with these YouTubers, because you don't know them. You got to remember something. The YouTuber was once a commenter. Stay woke. And you're sitting here giving them your phone number, talking to them. I don't trust nobody up here. How about that? Never have, never will. Because I don't put my faith in man, because I know man will surely disappoint you. So I don't trust nobody. I've already been burned by motherfuckers up here. So I already know the game. I know the game well. I'm a living witness and a living testimony.
And that's, to me, that, for us, we all have, well, the majority of us are like that. We can smell BS, from other people. But it's shitty because not all of us are bad people. You know what I mean? We're genuine people. But most of your probably your commenters or subscribers or what have you, they're probably really not, genuine. They probably do have ill intentions. And I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about like in general with YouTube. But, that's shitty because, you could have,
Been
subscribers.
verified. That's what YouTube should change its name to. Been verified, because that's all people do. I saw it on the site, and he lived there, and she lived there, and blah blah blah. And they done told you most of the information from that stuff ain't true, not accurate. But these people will run with it. Yeah, he do. He stay there. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He stays there. Yes, he does. He got 2 dogs, a cat, and don't know nothing about what they're talking about.
Yeah, Hollerville is a story in itself. And hopefully it comes to an end very soon. Well,
drama attracts drama.
Yeah. Drama feeds off of drama.
So chaos breeds chaos. So the child, as I said, the children were born to misfits. The child went missing, the other in the state. And now all that has attracted people of like-minded character. That's all. It's not even about Summer. It was never about Summer in the first place.
It's about the dollar. The almighty dollar.
So y'all keep on giving these folks your money. Next time you talk to them, they'll probably have a private jet.
Right.
How about that?
New cars. New bags.
Next time they'll be flying to Rogersville on a private jet.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Damn ridiculous. Thank you, Esley. Appreciate it, honey.
Yeah, no problem.
Lord have mercy. Can you imagine going to court listening to this as a juror?
No. No. I'm telling you.
Will witness number 1015 please take a seat?
Law enforcement has several people that, per case that scour, social media. They watch this content.
Yeah.
They watch it.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a jury member. I can tell you that.
No, I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't want to be the jury, and I sure as hell wouldn't want to be the judge.
No, none of it. Nor the bailiff.
Oh, this will be the latest rumor. The jury in the Summer Wells case are all doped up on heroin, and the judge, they all were in the parking lot getting high after the court proceedings. Shut up, Queen.
They got a mess on their hands when it goes to trial. If it goes to trial.
Got the judge smoking a crack rock when he come off the damn after courthouse.
Bench.
You see the judge? He was sitting in the parking lot, the Piggly Wiggly, smoking a crack rock. Shut up, Queen.
Yeah, he's out there with Mr. Donnie Wells smoking a crack rock.
Come on, Don. I need my little fix. You know how to set up in this courtroom, listening to all this bullshit about you. Where my dope at? I need a little crack right now. I want to rock right now. Come on, Don. Bring me my goodies. Sad. These some sad individuals, honey.
Sad, gross, disturbing.
And that one, I cannot stand her voice. She just, if I'm telling you, man, if I had a sledgehammer, man, beat that bitch down. Do you hear what I'm saying? I can't stand to hear her talk. It's like, oh my God, somebody please go steal this bitch's computer.
I want to talk makeup with her. Someone needs to teach her how to put lipstick on.
Well, I don't know which one you're talking about. I ain't talking about the one that's been on. I'm talking about the new one.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
The one that likes to blow into horns.
The horn.
Mm-hmm. I can't stand her voice. She makes me sick.
She thinks that she's right about everything. She interrupts everybody. and her opinion is always very strong. Like, whatever you're going to say is going to be completely incorrect. I would like to kind of choke her out.
Well, she keep going live, she'll probably choke herself out, because that'd be a hell of a place to lose your breath.
Yeah, she's something else. Oh, and then when she sits there and hits that vape on her live, ugh, good Lord.
That's okay. Cancer don't care how it comes. Shut up, Queen. Mm-hmm. Very sad to me. Oh my God, somebody said red lipstick and gum smacking. I don't know. I don't watch it, so I don't know.
Red lipstick, gum smacking, and her face tilted to the side.
I don't know anything about it.
Well, I wish I could have sent
you. You know what's sad to me? It was months ago when we had that one YouTuber that was aiding Don and Candy, and you could tell, Monica Sherrod's doppelganger.
Uh-huh.
That one. And now you've got this group. It's like, where do these people come from? It's like they just crawl out the ground.
I don't know.
They literally crawl out of the dust. I'm serious. It's like an entity down in a hole, and it crawls itself out of the ground and emulates a human being.
I could see a bunch of people getting together and are like, hey, let's travel down there and do a search, right?
Yeah.
And then jump on a plane or in your car and head back home 24 hours later or 2 days later. But you can't go and cause havoc on a city. I mean, you have just tore this city up and down with your mouth. Up and down. You're banging on doors. You're outside of houses. You're getting flares thrown at you. Mm-hmm. You are in the DA's office. You're at CPS. Now you're on the highway. I wouldn't even have time mentally for that.
Well, see, people who don't do anything all day have that kind of time.
I wouldn't even want that kind of time.
They don't do anything. That's the gist of the story. They don't do anything. If they had full-time jobs, worthy positions in somebody's workforce, they would not have time to be jumping on airplanes, running around, banging on people's doors. It's fucking 40 degrees outside, 20-something degrees outside. Who has that kind of time? Standing outside, half dressed. Oh, baby, it's still cold outside. Where's your coat?
No time. They have nothing better to do. That's just what it is. They have nothing better to do, and I think they want to cause havoc in order to give people crap to talk about.
They obviously don't have full lives.
No.
Because I know people every day who have full lives. They work a full-time job. They work in the community. They're giving back to the community. They volunteer. They're involved in mentorship programs, helping the homeless, helping people who have been children, sports, the homeless, just various degrees of things that go on with human beings. And they work full-time jobs, but yet they're in the community being visible. This group here, they're not that caliber of people. They're not the same type of people. They want to be. They're trying to make themselves appear that they're like that. But as I keep telling people, there's a way of doing things, and there's a way of conducting oneself, and there's a way of conducting business. What you were doing down in Florida was atrocious. Because when I first saw that shit down there in Florida, I was like, what the hell is this? Just disturbed behavior. Okay, I'm going to give you, for instance, that shows you that they're not well equipped mentally. Who the fuck goes to a reserve hollering and screaming? Who are you hollering at, the snakes? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When all that shit went on with the laundry case, you're out there cussing and fussing while the law enforcement are out there doing their job. They were out there for a reason. We didn't know what the reason was. We didn't really know that the guy was out there dead, but they knew. And then you take your happy ass down there hollering and screaming. For what reason are you out there hollering and screaming and arguing with people about what? They were doing their job, searching for this man who they believe murdered this girl. And you're the only ones. Think about this now. 10 billion people on the earth. You make your way to Florida. You're the only ones out there hollering and screaming at a reserve where we later learned the motherfucker was dead all the time. So who were you screaming at? Nobody else was screaming. You're the only ones down there screaming and hollering, making a fool out yourself. That's when I knew then they were full of shit, because I said, what reason do you have to even be at the reserve hollering? You'd have left the fucking laundry's house to go way over here to the reserve, cussing and fussing and screaming and hollering. And what are you hollering about? It's a reserve.
You know, they thought that they were going to apply pressure. You know, apply pressure. We got to apply
pressure. How you apply pressure? The people are investigating a crime. They were there searching. Law officials were there. What do you have to do with that?
Nothing. Nothing at all. They just
reason to even go there. You had no reason to even go there.
They really thought that they were going to do whatever it is they were doing out there, screaming, yelling, chanting. They thought that they were going to apply pressure to have the parents speak. The parents weren't going to speak. Those parents were going to speak when they wanted to, if they ever did.
And that's the point. Like when that little motherfucker was talking crazy to the sister, I would have yanked him raw. Do you hear me? And no, you're not supposed to put your hands on people, but these people, they act like they want somebody to touch them. So that way they can go get a lawyer and say, oh, he hit me, he touched me, they pushed me. Why were you there? That sister, she's a dodo bird, because I would have never come outside to talk to some strangers about my brother. I don't know.
You owe nothing to. They owe nothing to those people.
You. I didn't send for you. I didn't invite you to my house. I didn't tell you to come over. So therefore, I'm not getting ready to go out there and argue with a complete stranger. She's sitting up here going, wait a minute, and wait a minute. And that little sawed-off motherfucker, he's doing all that yapping at the mouth I almost said something, like a woman. He act like a woman. I'm sitting there telling myself, why are you engaging in this behavior? What you should have done was call the police and said, there are some people outside of my house. I want to have them removed. She didn't owe anybody an explanation, because to this day, we really don't know what the laundries told the sister, what knowledge she had of what her brother did and didn't do. So why are you over there now at her address, stalking her and her family? You had no right to even be over there at that location. So you just went from the laundry's house, the sister's house, the reserve. Well, what you should have done was took your ass closer to the damn bank of where the ocean is and jump your ass and die.
All about the views. All about the gold.
That shit pissed me off so bad. When I saw him out there grilling her like that, and I told myself, that girl is crazy, because I'd have never went out there and let nobody disrespect me like that in front of my damn house.
On your own lawn. On your own lawn.
You're not going to disrespect me.
You're not coming on my property.
You're not going to never disrespect the queen. Not where I sleep. Not where I sleep. Not now, not never.
They're all batshit crazy. Every one of them.
And now they hear of the Summer case. Oh, we got to go to Tennessee. I haven't heard about her. Let me get in my little radio red flyer and go to Tennessee.
Nothing better to do with their time.
Well, there are a lot of people hiring. I know the Dollar Tree needs some people. The Dollar General needs some people. Burger King, McDonald's, Taco Bell. There are a lot of places hiring.
Everywhere is hiring.
Everywhere is hiring. Exactly. Exactly.
My damn trash didn't get picked up yesterday because they have no trash men. So it got picked up today. So come over here where I'm at. They got a lot of jobs.
Oh, honey, isn't that true? And guess what? After you pick up the trash, jump in the back where they crush the trash. How about that?
Right.
How about that?
You remember when they used to ride on the back of the trash?
Yeah. They don't do that anymore?
Oh, not where I'm at, no.
I think I saw them doing it here. Interesting. Very interesting.
Nope.
Rose said, "Why isn't she in school?" Who is she? Who are you speaking of, Rose? Why isn't whom in school? Well, I must say, between Dawn and Candy, These other people coming forward with said information pertaining to Don. Now these goofy ass YouTubers wanting to get them 5 minutes of fame. I'm just like, wow. These people have no clue of how stupid they look. That's the part that's interesting, is that you don't go back and look at your own videos and say to yourself, I probably shouldn't have done that. That's not a really good look on me. And yet you still go right back out there again and go run up on somebody else's door, banging on their door, driveway. I mean, going to that neighbor's house, you were out of line. So now this guy has spoken. Let's talk about that. That guy has spoken. So now Don Wells knows how he feels that they think they behind getting the child gone, right?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He still has to live back there with Don Wells. You don't.
Yeah, they fly into town, cause, a ruckus, and hop back on the plane.
That's the reason why that's why that guy shouldn't have said nothing. What he should have done was call the police. See, this is how you kill two birds with one stone, as my mama used to say when I was a kid. You don't say anything. You don't go tell them get off your property. Don't say shit. Just go call the police. And then when the police come, you just stand right there with the police and watch what the police say. And then if you want to film it on your phone or whatever, then you film it. That way you have evidence of the people being on your property. And then you let the police, sheriff, or whomever tell the people, this is private property and you are not wanted here. They didn't send for you and they'd like for you to get the hell off the property. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. I wouldn't say anything. I just, like you said, call the police. Let them handle it.
I would have never said nothing. As soon as I saw they were down there, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have said, oh yeah, 9-1 and a 1. What's your code? Where are you calling from? Rogersville. From my driveway.
From my own property.
Yes, I got some rats crawling around. I need an exterminator. Do you have a big exterminator? Do you have a big exterminator that can get rid of these rats that's in my driveway? That's exactly what I would have done. I wouldn't have uttered a word. You don't say nothing. You let it play itself out. You call the law. You let the law handle it. Because let me tell you something. It couldn't have been somebody else that gets jiggy. They would have whooped them clean right there in that damn driveway.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
You got people that get down like that. They would have whooped their ass right there in that driveway. They wouldn't have called 911. They would have walked up on them right then and asked you, what the hell you doing in my driveway? What you looking for? And they wouldn't have even had a chance to respond. Somebody would have been laying face down. Face down. And then everybody would have been scurrying with their cameras. Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you hit him. Oh my God, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Go get you some business.
I really thought it would have happened by now. Considering all the places that they've been to.
Well, let me tell you something. Keep going up driveways. That's what you do. That's the best advice I'm gonna give you. Just keep going up somebody's driveway. Keep going to the church. Keep going to people's jobs. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's gonna work itself out. Because let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Just like every 5 seconds, you get a notification from the news break of breaking news. Somebody got hurt. Somebody got shot. Somebody died. That's what you're gonna hear about one of them. You watch what I tell you. You're gonna hear a nice little story of somebody who called themselves being a YouTuber, found face down at their home or a public place because they were meddling with grown folks, running up in people's faces, hollering and screaming, interrogating random strangers about shit that don't concern them. There's lots of things I don't like that's going on in the world, but do I have the right to go confront people about what I don't like? What's wrong with the world? No, I don't.
No, because that's not our place.
Yeah, it's not our place.
People assume that they can get into everybody else's shit in America. Everybody. You got those people that think that they are entitled to get into everybody's life.
Yeah. See, this group right here, this is the group from January 6th last year that stormed the gate when Olympus fell. That's this group right here. Let's go to Washington. We're going to go jump in the office. Let's tear the gate down. That's this mentality right here.
I wouldn't want to do it. I
The same
would.
people that cry about right and wrong, doing what's right, the same ones that'll break the law to make a point. So you're no different than the people you're criticizing.
Just stay in your freaking
They knew better.
own turf.
You broke the law when you went up on the property trespassing. You had no business going up there.
I'm really surprised someone hasn't put a shotgun to someone's head. You got people that don't give a shit.
That's what I'm saying. You do have people like that. They don't ask questions. They don't talk. They just do.
Yeah. They're going to handle it how they handle it.
Especially that little fella. That shit, them stunts he pulled down there in Florida. Woo, baby. That's the one you want right there. Him.
He really thinks he's Larry.
Him and that other one. I'd have waited on them two somewhere. Ooh, baby. I'd have followed them up out that neighborhood. They ass would have been grass. Do you hear what I'm saying to you?
It kind of cracks me up.
I would have had them two on blast. Because let me tell you something. What you do is you feed them with a long handled spoon. You follow them out where ain't nobody around. Can't nobody say nothing. Can't nobody see nothing. And then you run up on them and they're not expecting you. They're not going to have that cell phone ready because they don't see you coming. That's when you approach them. And that's when you say, you looking for me? You got something you want to say to me? And then you see how it unfolds. It ain't going to be nothing like all this shit they've been doing filming because they're not going to see you when you come. The phones aren't going to be up. They'll just be getting out.
You need to do it when you least expect it.
Least expected. And then run them down. Run up on them and see what the reaction you're going to get. No cameras, no nothing.
I'd be damned if someone thinks they're going to run up on my property that I pay for and think I'm not going to do something,
Well, let me tell you about the law here. The law says I got to have all your feet and arms inside of the door. I rest my case.
And I don't even think my state has anything like that.
No,
I don't
I gotta have all of you inside. You can't be climbing in the window, climbing out of the window, in and out of the door. All body parts for me to get away with murdering you. All of your body parts got to be inside that damn door, inside of the window. And that's what I would do with this group right here. I'd invite them in.
Come on in. I got something for you.
I sure would. I'd invite them in. Because what did I tell you about the video I made last month? Seek and ye shall find. So you like looking for trouble. I invite your ass in. Come on in. You want some hot tea? And I would beat them down as soon as they stepped over the threshold and that door was shut. And then I called 911 and tell them, I got some trash inside laying in the front door. You might want to come pick it up.
Yep, come take it out.
Straight trash. They're no better than Don and Candy.
I mean, and we all know they're garbage. All of us know that. I mean, we can just take a look at their land and their home, and we all know what kind of human beings they are. So for anybody to think those two SOBs are going to talk, they're crazy.
Well,
so they are not going to tell anybody anything because they don't have to.
Exactly. So why are you here?
They're not going to sit down with you and say, hey, look, I murdered my daughter and she's buried on our 9th acre. They're not going to tell you that.
Well, like I said in my live last night, if you curse me out on my own live, why would I go pay money to get on an airplane and fly to your location and as soon to talk to you, go to your property? I'm not getting ready to go nowhere near your ass. You saw how things went down with that fool from out west, and yet you still will go get on an airplane or however the fuck you got here. Why would you subject yourself to that? That lets me know you're a drama queen. You're a scream queen.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They're looking for the drama.
You're a scream queen because that's only a crazy person would go right back to the scene of the crime and expect something good in their favor. I mean, I don't understand how you think that you would be favored.
I really, truly think that with them trying to plead to these people, they're really thinking, oh, they're going to break to us. They're going to break to us. They're going to tell us. You know, we're going to get a little bit more info out of them. Bullshit. They're not going to tell you anything.
You're doing this for your own selfish, self-serving reasons. It has nothing to do with Summer. It has nothing to do with Don and Candy. It has nothing to do with Rogersville. It has nothing to do with the state. It has nothing to do with Hawkins County, TBI, FBI. It has nothing to do with any of these entities. You are there for your own selfish, self-serving reasons.
If they were truly there for that little girl, they would have went on their own dime. And they did not go on their own dime. They said it in multiple lives. If it wasn't for the donations, we would not have come. Well,
so that means you don't really care about Summer Wells.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
If you really care about Summer Wells, you'll get to Rogersville by all means necessary. If you got to jump from train to train, city bus to Greyhound bus, right?
Exactly.
Uber, cab, however, because you're not invested the way you claim you are. You're not invested. And then that heifer sitting up in that little room like she got a real office. I think just look at this person like, what in the hell am I watching right here? This bitch sitting up here at this desk like she got a real office and a real business. And I thought to myself, honey, if you had a real business, you wouldn't even be on YouTube. Ting.
Isn't that person a life?
If you had a real business, heifer, you would not be sitting up in front of a camera streaming live at all. You'd be at your damn job, even if your job was from your house. You work.
Well, I need to know how she's a life coach because her life is a mess from the outside. I don't know what it's like on the inside.
Oh, you talking about that one? I'm talking about the other one.
Well, her too, but this one that claims to be a life coach. You know, I don't know how your inside life is, but the things and the way you portray yourself online, I wouldn't want you.
And guess what? And guess what? With friends like her, who needs enemies? Oh, we ain't gonna talk about what you did to your friend.
She's the one that turns on everybody.
Hey, you know what she is? She's a female version of a Chucky doll.
Oh, she kind of looks like the Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
But that one has a not very nice disposition. You can just tell. And if she doesn't like what you have to say, you know, you're blocked, bitch. You're not coming back on my, live stream. You're blocked for good. I'm never going to unblock you. She don't like what you say. She doesn't like a comment, whatever the case may be. She's done with. So she only likes people that agree with her. What happened to the days that like people can have an open panel? Not all of us are going to think alike. You know, we all don't have the same opinion on things in life. And that's okay. You know, that's what makes us human beings.
You see what I'm doing? I'm using that good cure that my fans help me get. Thank you, fans.
The Keurig is the best invention.
I know. I'm thinking about getting another one. The one I wanted from Walmart. It was a few dollars more. When I look at it, I just don't think it's worth the money. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like wasting money. And when I look at it, to me, it looks like a child's toy.
Well, I really want the Nespresso. Have you seen that one?
I don't think so.
Well, it does all kinds of stuff. Like it froths your milk and it makes iced coffee.
Oh, so it's a big machine. So I'd have to have a lot of counter space.
Yeah, it does all kinds of crap.
Counter space.
And
I don't have enough counter space.
Well, my husband said, "You're not getting it, and don't let me catch it at the front door."
Oh my
He
gosh!
said,
Really?
you don't
Wow.
know how, you're not going to know how to work that. And it's a big no. He said, I never tell you what you can buy or not buy, which he does not.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking about it, and he goes, no, babe, it's not happening. You don't need it. You don't even drink coffee that often.
Well, I do. I drink coffee every day. I try my best to get a cup of coffee in, honey. Queen loves coffee. I wanted to make sure the fans saw it, and I have been using it because I have spent up quite a bit of money on those little K cups.
Yes.
And I've bought every damn brand of coffee I could find. I still got fresh brewed coffee in there. You know, too. I went and bought one of those little
cups.
From the dollar store. Yeah, I got that because one of the fans recommended me getting it from the Dollar General store, and it was in there. So I've yet to use that to make fresh brewed coffee.
Yeah, you can do that. I always keep a little regular coffee, thing in my pantry.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. See, when I went to Belk's, I had them hold me one the day after. The same day I got the donations. I went to Belk after I got off the live. And they had one on hold for me. But God, when I got there, that thing was so little. When I pulled it out the box, it was it was an itty bitty little coffee,
like a dorm size one.
Yes, and it was $14. It was a doorbuster sale. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to buy this thing. And it was just going to be making just like fresh coffee.
Yeah.
But it was so little. I mean, that thing was like the kind that you would put on like your nightstand. That's how small it was.
It's probably made for like a dorm or somebody's office.
Yeah, it's for something very small. Some place that you don't have a lot of room, and because it didn't take up any room. I mean, it was very small. To me, it was smaller than this Keurig here.
I really wish people weren't, crazy, or you didn't have to worry about your safety, because you know how many amazing things your fans would like to send you if you had a P.O. box.
I know, but I don't want to spend money on a P.O. box to receive.
But what if we paid for? What if I paid for a P.O. box?
No, I'm not going to let my fans pay for a P.O. box. I don't work like that. I told you I don't work like that. No, ma'am.
Well, what if
Why can't you just send a donation? Can't you just send a donation and I buy what it is you want me to go buy?
I'm a mega crafter. You don't know that about me. Like I'm a mega crafter.
Please don't tell me you got a room that's got a bunch of plastic containers with beads and stuff in it.
No, I don't do beads. I do lots of chalkboard art.
Oh, okay.
On my downtime, like restaurants, people will say, oh, my friend did this or did that. I've done a lot of restaurant chalking art. I do custom chalkboards. I do really cool, like tumbler stuff, snow globe tumblers. I do all different kinds of like sublimation t-shirts.
Oh.
Yeah, I do all kinds of stuff in my downtime when I have it.
Yes, I thank you all, but please do not buy any gifts for me because I'm not going to buy a P.O. box. It's not to be rude to any of you, but I don't want to deal with P.O. boxes, and due to the fact I've had issues with the mail delivery lately, I don't want to do anything extra dealing with the mail system right now because I've had some issues with the mail as of late, so I don't want to deal with the current delivery system, and I don't want any problems. Because, when you give out a P.O. box address, that's a way for a person to send direct hate mail, and you don't know how sick people are. Somebody could decide to send shrapnel in the mail. I would never want to wake up one day, lose my eyesight, or the carrier lose their eyesight, or somebody handling the package. So you got to think about stuff like that. You got sick people out here.
Yeah, and that's the sad thing.
You can't assume that everybody's going to be nice and be sending gifts to the P.O. box. No, there's going to be that one or two person that's going to do something very heinous with the P.O. box. So I'm not taking that risk and I'm not wasting the money for that. So I'm sorry, baby. But you can kindly, I got a cash app. I could buy the products. You want to show me how to make something, man. And you're so far away. You're so far away.
The other day I was.
You're really close. Let me tell you something. You know how to message me. You tell me the location where you at, because I know somebody that might be close to you, and you could give it to them.
Oh, okay.
You could give it
I'm
to
that
them.
type of person that could be like, I'm in Macy's or Dillard's or Target, wherever the hell I'm at. And the other day I said, oh, this would be so good on Big Angie. And my kids go, who is Big Angie? And I said, she's the gal
Queen, baby.
yeah. I was like, that's the queen I listened to on YouTube. And my 16-year-old goes, how do you know she'd like that? And I said, because she wears them all the time.
Yeah. I the Cash App to me is just better, because that way there's no misunderstandings about nothing. And then too, with sending stuff, like I said, you don't never know what can not make it.
No, that is
crushed,
true. It's
ruined. And then we've got just like a month or so ago, I got mail from California, and it was a neighbor's mail. And what if I was the type of person that kept it and didn't return it to her? You understand what I'm saying? But I took it to her door 2 times. She finally opened the door, and she was like flabbergasted when she saw the package. She was like, oh my God, this is from my mom. She sent me baked goods. This woman mailed her cookies from California to Tennessee.
Well, my mother-in-law, before Christmas, I get a package from UPS, and I opened it. She had made some of these fresh nuts that I like. She made homemade salsa that my kids liked. And her sister, the boys' aunt, had baked homemade peanut butter fudge.
So what state did this come from?
California.
Oh, you're close to you. Okay, close.
Yeah. She's like, I'm like, why did you ship that? Like, you could have just saved it for when you come. And she's like, oh no, my boys love these nuts and the salsa. So I want to make sure you got it.
Yeah. I love salsa too.
I said, okay.
Yes. Thank you, Vanna. Thank you so much for the support, sweetheart. Thank you so much. I'm glad you all are enjoying the content. I'm almost in 2 hours in. Anything else you want to say before we check out of here? I guess we've touched on all the subject matters. This was a 4-part live pertaining to Rittenhouse, the guy that sold him the gun, took a plea. I also talked about the 3 men that killed Ahmad Arbery, who were found guilty. Also, the trial is going to start in March of a couple here in Tennessee that tortured and kidnapped a woman and put her in an upright freezer in his apartment. The state is seeking the death penalty. And number 4, the BS with the YouTubers stalking the church, Kingsport, where the Wells were attending church, going up to the church to try to talk to people from the church about Summer Wells. It's heinous, and it's out of control. And these people need to get the fuck out of Tennessee. I'm gonna say it, and I don't give a damn. Go back where you came from, because you're not helping with anything here in Tennessee. You're not helping with Summer. You don't know where Summer is. The only people know where Summer is are the people who got her gone, and they're not talking. So therefore, you're not helping with anything. If you couldn't get everything that you needed to do and say in your last visit, why come back? And that's how I feel about it, because I feel like you're impeding on the investigation. You're meddling with people who don't have a dog in the race. They don't have anything to do with the child's disappearance. So why are you here? Because like I said, you wouldn't want anyone out there bothering you at your house and banging on your door, bothering you for whatever reason, hanging outside your house, hollering and screaming, going to your job site, going to your church. You wouldn't like it. You wouldn't like it at all. And if you were affiliated with somebody who was assumed to have been involved in a crime, you still wouldn't want those people involving you, because the first thing you'd say is, well, I don't have anything to do with it. That's my cousin. That's my this. I don't know anything. Why are you bothering me? Right, Kayan? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
If that was their sister, cousin, or brother, they would fall out if they had people hanging outside their house saying, you know something, you know something, you know something, and they come out, no, I don't know anything. Why are you bothering me? Well, that's what you're doing here. Because you don't have a direct line to Summer Wells. You're not Summer's aunt. You're not a grandparent that's concerned about the child, and you're trying to get answers from the family. You're a random bloke meddling, some nosy ass Karens, meddling with these people in Robertsville, Kingsport, surrounding areas that don't have nothing to do with nothing. Let me tell you, The chips will fall where they may. If anybody else is involved aiding these people, God will handle them. Not YouTube Nation, but God. Because it's not your place, it's not your business. Let's talk about this before I check out here. What do you think about the boss of this company and what transpired yesterday or whenever that happened?
I would have been pissed.
The boss? You think the boss should be pissed off?
He's probably pissed that they showed up doing all of that. He's probably pissed out of himself that he didn't know what type of person Don Wells was, because I'm assuming they did not run a background check.
Mm-hmm. But you remember what I said about the mixing of the buckets of the cement or whatever the hell he was talking about, mud. Who's to say the boss is not the one telling Don to do that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. He could have been.
Because he has to go behind him to check the job. You want me to believe that this guy doesn't go behind Don to check the job?
No, they have to. They have to sign off on it.
So that's what I'm saying. Somebody has to do the checking. Who's doing the checking to give the okay for the work that Don's been doing for God knows how many years? So that leads me to believe that this boss is in cahoots with whatever Don is doing on the job.
You know, and he may not have really fired him. We don't know. We don't know anything.
That's why I don't make claims to anything out of Hollerville. That's something
he might have just said, "You're done. Get out of here," to get everybody out and
off the property. Right.
You know, you don't know if somebody's going to get hurt or if it's a liability or a legal issue. It's all of the above to me. You know, the way I look at it. He's probably at this point. He's probably fed up with all the bullshit.
Yes.
And is over it. But then again, like you said, what if he's the one that's been having Don do this crap? We don't know. That's the problem. We know nothing. Everything is speculation.
Exactly.
I mean, we don't know if what Mr. Dudley said is the truth. We have no idea. I would like to believe that what he said is true, but we don't know him.
You don't know if you don't say no. Are you leery about the boss at this point? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How about Dudley now talking to this group of goofy people and taking pictures with them and all of that?
You know, when I heard, that the other live that he had been on originally, to me, he sounded genuine. He just told his side of what it was. I think my gut tells me he's not lying. I think that these people that met up with him are selling him some sort of, I don't want to say dream, but selling him, selling him persuasion, we should say.
But he's old enough to know better, and he should know better by now. You can't make me think he doesn't watch YouTube and watch the things that have unfolded with Don and Candy in this case and other people. So you still have to ask yourself, why would you go now meet up with these YouTubers? Come on, he's an adult. He's not a kid.
I mean, I don't know why he did it. I don't think he should have did it. He should have just left that one interview with that other gal and left it at that. That's what I would have done if I felt the need that I had to say my side.
Exactly. So see, that's where I get leery, is when now you want to talk to another YouTuber. Why?
Yeah, he really should have just left it as it was. That's it. He don't owe anybody.
Yeah, because if you feel like you left something out, you could go call Sweetie Pie back.
Right.
You've now hooked up with the worst one to go talk to that's got all this drama circulating around her and her other YouTube associates and Don Wells, and she'd be the last person I would go talk to. That's why I don't understand why he would go talk to her, taking pictures and all of that. Why? This bitch got too much drama going on.
They probably
and other people she's socializing with, their drama, their scream queens in their own right. So I have to ask, why this one? Why are you now going with somebody that's immersed herself in drama in the case?
Maybe she paid him. Maybe she paid him and he needed the money.
That's what somebody Ruby says. I think they paid Dudley. Well, take a vote.
They
Nate,
probably.
you and
I
Nate
don't
take a
doubt
vote.
that. I don't doubt.
Can you read the chat?
No.
Well, I'll let Nate do it. Nate, you take the yes, so you take the no's. How many of you think Miss Thing paid Dudley to talk? That's a good one. Shangri-La said free dinner. I'm dead.
Free dinner and a cocktail.
Yeah. Oh, and Allie too. Ruby says and Allie too.
Oh, who wants to even sit with?
Are you all taking account? Nay, you taking account? Who did I say? Nay, take the yeses. And Soul takes the no's. Okay. Well, take account. How many of your chat believe this YouTuber paid Dudley and or Allie money to talk for an interview? Okay. Nay has 9 so far for yes. Okay, Soul's got the nose. Just saying says maybe. Interesting. Kenzie, what are you doing?
Charting.
Oh, for your job. You work from home?
No, there's some stuff that I needed to close out on a patient, a couple patients. So
okay, I'm
done now.
Okay. Soul has 2 so far for the nose. So most of you in the chat that's decided to comment with 67 viewing is that she paid Dudley to talk. I don't know. I don't really care. I wouldn't have gone to her to talk. That's me personally. Nay has 15 yeses so far. I wouldn't have gone to her to talk because what was wrong with Sweetie Pie? Well, she appears to be mild-mannered in her conversation when she talks. She's not, animated, not as boisterous as the queen, but he chose her for a reason. You understand what I'm saying? So what I have to ask myself is, if you chose Sweetie Pie to give your first commentary pertaining to Don Wells, why would you now go talk to this group here? These were the last MFs you should have talked to. I wouldn't talk to people that like to add drama to the table. But then he might like that. You understand what I'm saying? Because he has a problem with Don Wells. So he may like that they coming down here with all this hoopla and shit. He might be that type of dude.
And Don Wells owes him money. So he figures, I'm going to put him on blast and let this one has more subscribers. So let me just
interesting,
get it all out there.
Interesting. Very interesting. That's an interesting observation. Maybe. You may be onto something.
He may have no damn common sense. You know what I mean?
Well, just like what somebody in the chat said, here's a person that's grown, has worked for himself before, had his own business. Why are you running around chasing Don Wells around the city to go to a job site? You had issues with him before this incident of when you last worked on the 14th. So you knew how he was on the job. You knew his work ethic, what he was doing that you didn't think was appropriate as far as the mixing of the mud, blah, blah, blah. Whatever else you noticed, why did you hang in there? What did I say? Who's to say he still wasn't getting high and need the money?
Right.
Because behavior to me is of an addict. Only an addict is going to stick around and not be happy and keep working for people that you have problems with. I'm not going to keep working with you and I have problems with you. You're talking crazy to me. You're not doing the job efficient as I think you should. You're sending me on wild goose chases. I'm not getting ready to waste my time and my gas like that when I can go out here and get a real job with benefits. See, that's what I find odd. Why aren't you working for a legitimate company?
Maybe he can't. Maybe he can't pass a background. Maybe he can't pass the P test.
And that's something we never touched on. And it's not to get in Dudley's business, but you did put yourself out here. Maybe he has a criminal background.
And I'm not one to shame anybody. There is people out here that have done some bad shit in their life, but they're not bad people. They get wrapped up with, the wrong crowd. People change every day, right?
Okay.
So I can't judge him if he has a background or no background.
Yeah.
But
I'm speaking from a personal decision making standpoints where I'm coming from.
So that could possibly be the reason. Because if you are capable of running your own business,
right,
you should be able to do it. You know how to bid on work. You know how
exactly. Very
purchase
true.
orders,
very true.
blah, blah,
very
blah.
true. Very true.
Or forget all that shit and go work for somebody.
And that's like my point.
Benefits.
Is that you have obviously worked for this man for I don't know how long, on and off. You had to see the signs of whatever you did not agree with. You should have went and found work somewhere else, because what was going to change?
I wouldn't stick around
there with this working with Don Wells and working for this man. And you already repeated that you went and talked to the boss and he didn't believe you. So see, that's why I said this doesn't add up.
Why would you go and work for somebody that's not capable of paying you your money?
Okay. And then somebody else says, why did he lose his business in Louisiana? Why is he in Tennessee working for Tucker? Those are great questions.
Yeah. Well, there's probably something, in his life that is preventing him from
could be
going to work for a large company.
But see, this is why you don't get yourself wrapped up in talking publicly, because eventually people are going to start digging in your past. They're going to start being nosy, trying to find you on Facebook, trying to find people that's cool with you, relatives, wherever else you work. And then they're going to start nosing around, poking, and then you're going to get an attitude when they start digging up stuff that you didn't want repeated. This is why you have to be careful about coming forward to give commentary about a certain situation, because that's exactly what a motherfucker's getting ready to do.
You can't even be friends or associates with it, with anybody these days.
Yeah. Naysay
I sure the hell would want nobody knowing my life, not knowing where I live.
Naysay said he should have kept his mouth shut.
Exactly. Or left it at the one gal, and that's it.
At Sweetie Pies. Yeah, you should. Yeah, Dudley. I'm gonna be truthful with you, brother. Sweetie Pies, where you should have left your belongings, right there at the doorstep.
Just say what you had to say. If you needed to repeat or add something, you could have picked up the phone or email or however it was that you two talked and said, "Hey, I forgot about this. Can I add this?" or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Now he's probably going to go on a little tour like Don Wells.
Yeah. Okay. Let me give you Jude's comment. It is hard to get licensed and bonded with the record. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
very true.
Spot on.
So perhaps he has a criminal record back in Louisiana, and that's why he doesn't have a business here. And two, you're going to ask all the obvious questions, which you all have mentioned in the chat. Why did you move here? Why don't you have your own business? Why didn't you transfer your business here? What happened to your business there? When was the last time you had your business in Louisiana? Those are viable questions. And why would you subject yourself to deal with Don Wells on this job? So those are all pertinent questions. And nobody would be asking these questions had you stayed out of the way. You put yourself out here. And this is what happens. You get public scrutiny, because that to me was odd. This song and dance him and Don had going on this job. I didn't understand it.
They were probably get high buddies at some point.
Well, he did say that. He did say they smoked marijuana together. But then we also know that Don likes prolific drugs. So now we have to ask ourselves, did he also use prolific drugs with Don? And he left out that he did that.
That's what I'm thinking. Because when I think drugs, I really don't
think of marijuana. I know people don't think marijuana is a drug.
Coke, meth, all those illicit things that,
Yeah. Nay has a good point. But in the long run, is this helping the current situation? Hell no.
No. It's just
showing you another side of Don Wells as being an ass. That's all. That he's an ass. He's an ass wipe. He doesn't know how to treat and talk to people, which we already knew that from him jumping on panels and cursing people out and using derogatory racist slurs and calling women out of their names. So
I wouldn't give that SOB a platform to get on and talk about shit.
Well,
His
you would give them
daughter's
a platform when you don't have anything better to do and you're trying to get views for your channel.
Who the hell wants to talk to him, though? His daughter is missing. His whole entire 5-year-old or 6-year-old daughter.
A thirsty YouTuber trying to put some groceries in the refrigerator.
Well, get a job, because I can fill my fridge just fine with my employer. My inside fridge, my 2 outside fridges. Get a job. Get a job. There's state assistance that can help.
Just Kale, what's the problem with the all that you're doing? Come on. What is the problem? We can see your messages in the chat, sweetheart. I'm not blind. If you have something to say, just say it. Don't tell us what to go check. Just say what you have to say. You're in the chat. Makes no sense to not say what you have to say. Just say whatever it is you want to say. Just saying says, I have seen too many sides of DW like a barber pole always spinning. God, Lee, ain't that the truth? You know the little red and white pole that sits outside the barber shop?
Yep.
The old time barber shop. That's a good one. That is so true. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. What in the world? It's a very sad situation.
You never know what kind of Dawn Wells you're gonna get.
It's a 3-ring circus, complete with elephants in the room and inbred, mutant, genetically modified circus clowns.
They are inbred.
Gosh, Thomas. Gee, Louise.
Just look at Candace.
Jeez Louise.
She is
That's a hell of a
inbred.
statement.
She's as inbred as they come.
Wow. I can't get over it. Inbred mutant, genetically modified circus clowns. I'm dead. You forgot to throw Chucky in there. Chucky's a part of it too. Hi, I'm Chucky. Want to play? Oh my God, I'm dead.
You know I think that's on the Sci-Fi Channel now.
Oh, I saw that. Yes. I said, why would they make Chucky into a TV series? That's
There's
scary.
no pin.
Well, I just handed it to him every time, so.
There's no pin on that. And make sure you give him a tip on there.
I know.
Well, anything else you want to add before I check out of here?
No, nothing other than practice human kindness, please, in this world.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck sending that message out, considering what we've seen thus far. But I'm going to say this before I check out of here. This case is no longer about Summer Wells. It may have started out and appeared to be about Summer in the beginning because we didn't know these people. We didn't know what to expect. But due to the fact of everybody snooping and verifying this and been verified and people jumping out of hats and cars and birthday cakes, wanting to give the 411 about the Wells, it's not about Summer. It has never been about Summer. That is the reason why she is no longer around to be seen. That's why the boy children are in the state's care. It was never about any of the children. And it is sad that it's come to this, another, as they say, shit show, just like the mess out of Cow City. But in the end, more than likely, the child is probably not even alive. And so you doing all these things, the parents, the sideshows, you're doing all this for what? Your own self-serving reason. And that's what's so sick about this case and other cases. You people jump out of clown cars pretending that you care. Don't you get it? It's bad enough the parents don't care. And then you join in with the bio donors to do this crazy nonsense on YouTube, hooping and hollering and falling out with people, cussing people out, putting people on blast. Your day is going to come. I'm telling you, you're going to be sitting right where the Wells are one day. And that's what you don't seem to understand, is that you are also on borrowed time because you are now behaving like the Wells. And that means you are utterly sick. You are utterly sick, because you can't sit and judge those two for vile behavior, and you are now aiding the behavior of the whales by acting just like them. You're acting just like them. So you are no different than the whales. Thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $Beganji129 Cash App. Thank you, KM. I'll talk to you later. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you, mods. Amen.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.